What is up, you guys? This is All Danny Day 1 on the PS4, and I'm going to be giving you a max damage build video. So I'm going to go ahead and explain to you my attributes and why I chose them, and my gear, and so on and so on. So I'm going to go to characters, go to 0, or my character's name, and then you're going to go to status. So currently I am level 122. My strength is at 135, I have 57 vitality, 73 intelligence, 68 agility, 140 dexterity, and 100 luck. The stats you want to mainly focus on the most would be dexterity, luck, and strength. The reason why you want strength is so you have more gear weight, and that way you can carry, let's say you want to carry the Tiamat, which is probably one of the heaviest weapons in the game. But you can also, there's also dual wielding, so you're going to want to be able to dual wield your assault rifles or ARs, whatever. And then there's just other stuff, so strength is going to be coming into good play with that. Dexterity increases your crit damage and your weak spot damage, so that right there is also going to be incredibly important as well. And then luck increases your crit rate, so your critical, you can always hit criticals whether you hit the weak spots or not. So if you hit white numbers, you can still hit criticals, and if you hit weak spots, you're basically doing double the regular damage that you normally would be doing, and those will be guaranteed. And then you also have a chance of hitting a crit, so having a high amount of luck is going to be useful because you're going to be able to get those crits off. And then the reason why I got agility is because I use an ability that lets me use, or that requires agility, and then intelligence, so that way I can recharge my abilities faster, and vitality just for a little bit of a survivability. Now for my skills, I'm gonna actually go ahead and go into the terminal, it'll be easier. So my skill sets, I have armor break, power form. Those are the two you're gonna want to have the most, basically on any build that you're using. So is power form and armor break. The reason why you want power form is because you're gonna get a big damage boost increase, and then armor break is because you're gonna lower the enemy's armor down by a good chunk. Omnia Vanitas is a pretty good evasive ability. It's not like the best thing to use, but it's definitely a good one to separate yourself and the enemies. And then tactical roll is going to be super useful, especially if you're using dual wield ARs, and they have, one of them is like an LMG. If you're using an LMG type of or variant of the assault rifles, tactical roll is going to help because it'll you automatically reload your weapons when you dodge, when you use tactical roll. So that's, like I said, is going to be super useful. And then the same thing with snipers, you're going to have power form and armor break. I just put conceal and then sentry style because you get an increase in attack power, defense, and reload speed while you're in crouch. And then for my submachine guns, the reason why I didn't put power form or armor break is because whenever I run submachine gun, I'm always running an assault rifle. But yeah, I'm always running an assault rifle or a sniper, one or the other. Now that you've seen that, my gadgets I have that are set up, I don't really utilize my gadgets at all, but you can honestly put whatever you want. I just put first aid, smoke grenade, flashbang, and metamaterial camouflage. And then now for the gear that I've got on. So the weapons I have is the MG Mutnovsky ++. It's a rank 7 epic, 393 physical power. And then my memory chips, it has a damage versus life forms, physical attack, damage versus mechs. Those ones I can't switch out, but it's 13.7% to the life forms, 17.68 to physical, 14.3 to mechs, and then I got crit damage, crit rate, and weapon attack. And I would honestly say these are, all 6 of these stats are perfect to have. If you end up getting an epic or even a legendary variant of this, of this weapon and you get those specific stats, you'll still have 2 more memory chips. Sometimes you can have up to 8 memory chips if you have an epic. If you have a legendary, you can have up to 8. I'm pretty sure that's guaranteed. So with those other two, I guess, memory chips, you would want to go with the damage to, not damage to, I'm trying to think of what it was called again. Damage to weak spots. You definitely want to get that one, and then I'm trying to think of another one, but I can't right now. I know damage to weak spots is definitely one you want to go for. I want to say humanoids, but I don't think you need the humanoids one. I want to say damage when you have full HP might be useful. If anything, that'll be more useful with the snipers, not so much for an assault rifle. But these are the 6 stats that I have on right now, are what you're going to want to have. And then for the snipers, I have damage versus mechs, damage versus humanoids, damage versus life forms, weak spot damage, physical attack, and weapon attack. So the mechs, the reason why you want to have the mechs and the life form damage is because those are pretty much what you're fighting, especially mechs and life forms. Those are the main bosses you're fighting. You're not really worrying about humanoids. You can kill humanoids without the extra damage from them. But with the snipers, you definitely want to have the weak spot damage, because you're always going to only go for weak spots. You rarely try to aim for non-weak spots. If you hit a non-weak spot, then I mean, that's fine. But you want to have that high weak spot damage, physical attack and weapon attack, and then if you can, try to get crit rate and then go for crit damage rather than going for crit damage than crit rate. The reason why you want crit rate is because you want to be able to hit those crits more often, and then after that you can go for crit damage. And then same thing with my Tiamat. In a way, I got crit rate, weak spot damage, damage versus mechs, weapon attack, physical attack, damage versus life forms, and bullet circle accuracy. So I would have definitely switched out that bullet circle accuracy with crit damage, or damage behind enemy back or behind back would have been really useful as well. Now I'm gonna go ahead and show you my accessories I'm using. So I've got Spriganiers. It doesn't matter what type of accessories you have, as long as you've got these specific memory chips. So the memory chips I have, this one gives me plus 17 dexterity. That's the main thing I was looking at. And then it gives me 3.97 explosive defense and 1.69% melee defense. And then a display glass gives me, for my memory chips, plus 4 dexterity and plus 17 strength. And then 101% melee defense. So you can also, that's if you're just trying to max out as much damage as possible. There are other things you can use though that will increase your, I guess, survivability. So, oh, and luck would also be really good. So this one wouldn't be too bad to have either if you're to use this. So that way you can get a higher crit chance. So anything that gives you luck, dexterity, or strength is going to be something you're going to want to try to invest in getting. But like I was saying, if you were trying to get more survivability, then the ones that give you HP recovery, like 80% or whatever, and then another one where you avoid death from getting one shot, whatever, if you have more than, like, let's say 50% health or 30% health. And then another one is you get a certain amount, a certain percentage of health back per minute, like 30, 40, 50% health back per minute. So that's pretty much it with this build though. With maxing out your damage, all you really have to do is just, like I said, you're mainly focusing on dexterity and luck. You're trying to max out the crit chance and crit damage. You want to get a good chunk of strength so that way you can equip your weapons, and then everything else is just for, you know, your skills or whatever you're trying to fill that in with. And then your skills, you want to be able to buff yourself, so Power Form 3 is what you're going to want to go for. And then the Armor Break, which one was that called? armor break shot. So you want to get armor break shot 2 or 3, I mean, not 2, but you want to get a 3. And yeah, those are the 2 stats you're going to want to go for, or skills. And then equipment, like I said, in my opinion, the MG Manovsky is the best assault rifle, probably the best weapon in the game in general, because it just melts enemies. But I would definitely try to invest in getting this. And then a Deathwind, because the Deathwind will be hitting 99,999. The MG Manovsky, the highest I've seen my MG Manovsky hit was, I think, like a 9,000 or 6,000. But you have to also keep in mind that it is shooting fast. So in the end, in a duration type of battle, this weapon would out DPS the Deathwind, unless you're like super good with the sniper and can hit those weak spots very easily. But that's pretty much it with this video. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys a small little clip of both the MG Manovsky and the Deathwind, of the Deathwind hitting 99.9k and the MG Manovsky's DPS in general. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video or enjoy those clips. And if you do, go ahead and hit that like, subscribe, go ahead and comment if you have any questions or concerns. And that's that. This is All Day Day 1 on the PS4. Have a good day, good night, and peace.
みんな注意しろ。カジノありがとう。よし、やべえのが来るぞ。避けろ。よし。